You are now listening to the Garage Poppin' Family Chronicles podcast. Have a seat at the table and let's have a family discussion.
What's up, you guys? This is the Garage Poppin' Family Chronicles. I'm your host, Ashley.
I'm Alyssa.
I'm Tasia.
And today we're going to talk about boundaries.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one. Because I have none of my children. So let's talk about it.
Well,
get right in there. Okay.
Let's go. Let's dive deep.
Let's go.
Okay, well, I'll start off by saying I did see something on Instagram, like one of them quote pages, and it was like, boundaries will feel mean when you spent your whole life over giving. And I felt that. Because I guess the thing with us and boundaries is when you start to set your boundaries, you feel like a lot of people don't set boundaries out of fear of how other people will react. And how people react to you setting your standards and your mental health is not your problem. Like, you got to stand firm in your ground of what you want, and how they react is on them. It's not on you. Especially if it's something that'll help your mental health. That's what I feel like.
Wow.
Well, thanks y'all for coming. This was great.
We're
jumping in.
Go ahead, Tasia.
I completely agree. Is it possible to have no boundaries and too many boundaries at the same time? Is it possible to?
So I feel like what you're saying is there's different people who you have more boundaries for than others.
As you should.
Right. As you should. Okay. Like
she said, like, as far as like the fear, like, it makes me feel bad. Like, because certain people, you know what I'm saying, I have, a relationship with for such a long time. Like, this should already be something that you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? And then with some people, it's like, if they cross a line, I feel bad. Like, everyone has to get cut off. Okay. Like, everyone has to go, or no one's going anywhere. Like,
definitely, you have to have boundaries. And I feel like boundaries will let you see the people who are supposed to be there. Exactly. If somebody that you give boundaries to is like, oh, this is messed up, like, you ain't this, you ain't blah, 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 that means that they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. If they can't handle your boundaries, then let them go.
I feel like if you don't set those boundaries, you eventually will snap because you're so upset, but you're harboring like those. That's a whole nother topic, but you're harboring those feelings and they don't even know. Like, you have to, for your own mental sanity. I will not go crazy again for anybody.
That's a story for another day.
Another time too. But I will not go crazy again for something or someone because I didn't put myself first. And I think a lot of time with these boundaries, we're not putting ourselves first. We're trying to put everybody ahead of us, and it's making us unhappy in the end. You have to set those boundaries.
Yes. I feel like I went through a really rough time because I don't know, like maybe when I was younger, okay? Because I was kind of just like, oh, I want to be friends with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm nice, I'm this, I'm that. And I feel like some people took advantage of that. And so now the person that I am, I feel like because I didn't set those boundaries back then and I know how I felt when I felt like people took advantage of me, now I'm so hard in my boundaries that you can get cut off for stupid stuff now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that doesn't feel good. I'm not talking to you. Now, maybe I take my boundaries now a little too far because I know how it felt when I didn't really have boundaries. And I know how I felt when I felt like they just don't give a about me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like now I'm so hard with the boundaries, not with y'all, because like y'all, what if I was like, y'all just run all over me? No, it's fine. But like with other people, I'm just like, one, small thing will be like, oh, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I definitely think that boundaries are not a one size fit all either. So we have different. Well, so when you said we have boundaries for different people, I feel like we really do. You know, you have to. Like for my child, I would have something different than I would for my mother, and then I would have because I got boundaries with my parents. I got boundaries with my family members, with my coworkers at work. And then I got boundaries with my Instagram page. Like there's certain stuff that I will say, but there's certain things that I won't post or won't put out because all my business ain't your business.
Yes. Definitely.
Even with this, we're just talking. This is a family table. We put it out there, but there are some boundaries that we will not cross when it comes to it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. As far as social media goes, I never really been like, I'll post a cute picture on Instagram, but as far as like all that extra, it's a no for me. I definitely.
I'm sorry. Like,
I need to say.
Stop. So, boundaries like are a big thing with me. Like, I feel like, but then I feel like a lot of my boundaries come from hurt feelings from before. You know what I mean? And I feel like I shouldn't have some of those boundaries because I just need to let stuff go. And because I don't let stuff go, my boundaries build walls sometimes.
Yes, and doesn't that make you feel bad? Well, that makes me feel bad. Like I feel like that, but feeling like that makes me feel like, that's like, low key taking my anger out on, what I'm saying? It just makes me feel like definitely
so
like
when do your boundaries not fit a situation? You know what I mean? Like people are always like, have boundaries. But some of my boundaries come from past trauma that people probably don't even know about.
Right. And I feel like in those cases, that's kind of like the women that say, all men ain't. You can't put all men into a category and say that they all. You ain't been with all the men unless you have. Right. So when somebody does do something, it does bring up that trigger. When it does bring up that trigger trauma response, and you go to what you're used to. I guess you need to figure out if the person is worth setting up that full blown on China wall boundary, or if it's like you just need to take a step back, regardless of what boundaries that you put out there for people. Mm-hmm. I feel like there should be an explanation. Like, I'm telling you, this is why I'm not doing it. Sometimes you don't have to. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to feel like that mean person, then I would say this is not going to happen because I hate just going off when somebody tell a kid don't do nothing. They be like, why? Like, because I say so. That's not explaining the situation, and it makes them want to do it more. So I feel like you should kind of explain your boundaries, and that comes with the speaking your mind and setting your tone. And if they don't agree with that,
right?
There's that.
That's true. But I feel like I also see that's another problem that I have though with boundaries. I think that sometimes when I set a boundary, I will say, you know what, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. And then if somebody's like, well, why? I feel like, because I don't. Like, if I say I don't like it, that means I don't like it. Why am I explaining myself to you? I said, I don't like it. So move on. Like, if you keep doing
it depends on the person. Because if it's like a family member and they're like, why? I feel like I'll be more inclined to say this is because. But if I really don't like you and I got feelings, I'm going to be like, because. So
that's exactly. And that goes back to different boundaries for different people.
Yeah.
So people need to understand that. Like, not everybody has the same boundary for everybody. Like, my family, I got boundaries for y'all. I had the boundary all the way to Florida. Okay. But I mean, like, I love y'all. It wasn't y'all. Y'all are not the reason why I moved to Florida. It was myself. I was going through some stuff, and that's a whole nother topic. But I feel like boundaries, like the boundaries that I have with Tasia, I don't think I have none. I did see her little TikTok.
I think there needs to be none. What little TikTok, girl? Oh, well,
I never did that.
I know.
I mean, like, I might have talked about somebody, but I wouldn't like that.
I mean, like, of course, it was definitely a dramatic version. I'm pretty sure it was so off Instagram. Like, I hope you didn't.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer. Can I change? I'm gonna edit the caption. My mama would never, because I'd be like, girl, look, I don't even want to talk to you no more.
I need to
Okay.
watch that TikTok. Look, what's your TikTok at so I can see it?
At Tasia Simone.
Oh,
Follow me on TikTok.
Can you spell the Simone?
Woo! I'm gonna spell the whole thing. Tasia, Teija, C like Charlie, YMON like Nancy, E. Tasia
Okay.
Simone. No,
I'm going to look now.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
listen. Anyway, I didn't say that, but anyway. Yeah, but I feel like, okay, back to the boundaries. I feel like now I definitely have boundaries here because I don't have a lot of people that I talk to here. Like I have like a certain group of people, maybe probably about 6 people that I will talk to on a regular who live in Florida. You know what I mean? 6 people. So I feel like my boundaries are really high, and probably why I'm gonna be single forever.
I feel like life is a learning process. And I think the more you learn who you are because of the situations you've been through, when you meet somebody and you already have those initial boundaries set up, it doesn't feel like you're being mean because they don't know to begin with. So establishing that in the beginning is easy for the new people you meet, but the people that have been in your life for a while, it could be kind of complicated because they're used to you being a certain way. A lot of people don't like to see you level up or change your ways. They feel like you being acting funny. So
Yeah.
For sure. I can definitely agree with that. Bouncing off of you saying you're gonna be single, I think that as far as relationships go, I'm gonna set a boundary for 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna feel away. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna stand on that hill. Might smoke
And then
me a
you
blunt
go
and calm
down
down
it.
and be like, nah. Might have been tweaking just a tad. I might have been. I feel like I gotta, I'm a little bit emotional, so I be mad because why? For what? Why is this even? What is this even going on for? So I'm definitely gonna stand on how I feel because I feel like I don't like unnecessariness.
Yeah.
so we shouldn't set boundaries when we're emotional or angry, but it's about setting them when you're in your right space and right mind and knowing exactly what you want.
Right.
That was
Sometimes
setting them when they're
you
supposed
don't
to.
know what boundary you need until a mother piss you
There you
off.
go.
it. That's the one.
That's
Right.
the
You like,
one.
you know what? I'm gonna set
That's
this
the one.
boundary. And then somebody do something, you like,
Right.
not that. Like that's right.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, even though you shouldn't do things in anger, you shouldn't say things in anger, you shouldn't speak in anger.
Sometimes
But
it's what it takes.
if you get that angry at somebody, automatically that's a boundary. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Like, don't talk about my children. That'll get you an uppercut. Don't talk about my dog. That'll get you an uppercut. Don't talk about my family. That will get you an uppercut. Okay? Those are
About
big,
the whole
big
family.
unless you
Yeah.
want this.
You want
George
to tussle. You know how you
say
girls love to tussle.
boundaries are important.
They are, and they come from nice lessons.
It does. And you should literally have, if you don't have boundaries, if you don't have something that you can be like, listen, this right here is a deal breaker. And you should be able to tell someone, this is my deal breaker. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this because it takes me to a whole nother level, one that you don't want to see. Okay? Because I'm petty. Queen petty. No one is as petty as me. Okay?
When they go low, you go to hell.
Exactly. Okay. I'm going under Satan's feet. All right. I'm going in Satan's basement if you go.
I'm going to sleep.
Girl, I'm not. And I'm gonna wake Kate up. I'm like, down here. We finna listen. Let's go. We going to Satan's basement because I'm not playing. Okay. you don't want it.
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
have anything else to say on this topic.
Keep your boundaries.
Work on your boundaries.
Yes. Work on them, keep them, and make them known.
And one boundary does not fit all. Just like
That's
some of those clothes out there.
ooh.
That wasn't. I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
That's that
So,
palm tree.
so sorry.
That's where the shade and the
That
garage
slipped out. My
family Chronicles
apologies.
came from.
My apologies.
No,
Well,
you meant it.
I think we've touched on the boundaries. I hope you guys set some boundaries and don't feel bad for them. And we will
No.
see y'all next week, where we will sit at the table as a family and have another discussion on a brand new topic.
Let's go.
Bye.
Bye.